Hey guys, I'm Meoang, and today we're going to learn about the Huntress. The Huntress is a ranged killer whose power is very simple to understand, but difficult to master. By holding down the action button, the Huntress will wind back one of her hatchets. When releasing the action button, she will throw it forward. The first survivor hit by this hatchet will take damage. The longer you hold down the action button, the more precise the hatchet throw will be. Once the hatchet shines though, it has reached maximum effectiveness. Without add-ons, the Huntress can hold a total of 5 hatchets. To replenish them, she simply needs to open a locker. Lastly, because of this ranged mechanic, the Huntress moves slightly slower than the average killer. As for how I'd rate the Huntress, I give her a B in meta strength and a B in fun. Her power is pretty straightforward, but since it gives you a reliable answer to pallets and pallet looping, she ends up being incredibly effective. What makes her fun to me is that she doesn't have to put up with pallet looping, and that every now and then you get an awesome long-range hatchet throw. The only reason I don't give her an A in fun is because I personally get tired of killers with a slower movement speed after a while. The Huntress perk build that I currently recommend is Whispers, Ruin, A Nurse's Calling, and Barbecue and Chili. She's a very general killer, so we take perks that are very generally strong. We take A Nurse's Calling specifically because without add-ons, she has to hit survivors twice to down them. This makes it easier to track down survivors to get the last hit. We can do well without Enduring because she has a reliable answer to pallet loops and rarely needs to challenge pallet drops. As for add-ons, you can't really go wrong with most of them. I prefer to use the add-ons that make throwing hatchets faster or increase your maximum number of hatchets. The important thing to remember when throwing hatchets is that they always go lower than you initially expect. We're all used to playing first-person shooters and aiming in the middle of our screens, but the hatchets fall pretty rapidly, so you usually have to aim up just a bit. The biggest and most reliable strength of the hatchets is that you can throw them at survivors when they drop a pallet or vault over something. Most survivors will be expecting this, so they duck down quickly, but if your timing is right, you'll be able to hit them in the middle of their animations, or snipe them before the animations start. In general, you want to pallet loop as normal, but when you suspect that the survivor is about to drop a pallet, start winding up the hatchet and release it as soon as they start dropping the pallet. If your timing is off, the hatchet will hit the pallet or the survivor will duck under it, but if you get your timing down, this is a very reliable way to hit survivors. You could literally only use your hatchets to hit survivors using pallets or vaulting and you would do fine, but I recommend using them just a little bit more than that. Throwing hatchets during chases when there is a lot of open space often gets you free hits and it forces survivors to play a little differently. The survivors will always have to think about dodging your next hatchet and may make mistakes when running away because of it. Again, just make sure you aim a little high. To summarize, when you're starting out with her, focus on learning how to throw hatchets at survivors during pallet loops. As you get used to the hatchet mechanic, start going for more bold hatchet throws and learn when you have the opportunity to make these shots. As usual, I've included a full Huntress game that I played to demonstrate what I've discussed today. If this guide has helped you, or you'd like to learn more about playing killer in Dead by Daylight, consider subscribing. Soon I will have a guide for every killer in the game and additional videos that go over more specific aspects of playing killer in general. Thanks for watching guys, and enjoy the gameplay.
Yeah!